you were able to navigate this conversation, within your own organization up to key stakeholders and executives in the organization to get them to buy into the same vision that you should be handing some of your customer experience over to AI. Yeah, how maybe you can talk just a little bit about what were you able to do to successfully navigate that through an organization the size of Textile Fashion Group?
Yeah, great question. And that's, I love this slide because it really is conversational AI. We could have implemented or rolled out just a advanced IVR or something that could slightly understand what the member is requesting, but it doesn't really create a conversation with the customer or the member. One of the things that we started with was we took our executives, we flew them all the way across the Pacific to the Philippines, sat them down and forced them to take calls for 8 hours straight. And that sounds a little crazy and intense, but them sitting, wearing the shoes, we're a shoe company. So, being in the shoes of our agents, what are they doing day by day, 8 hours a day before we had conversational AI in place, and resetting passwords and clicking the same button over and over and over again. They understood that these transactional type conversations really needed to be, these simple conversations really needed to be automated. So we pulled them into a room, did a little breakout session and said, well, how can we automate this? And we all decided, let's not do it in a very cheap fashion and have it be a robotic answer back. We wanted to make sure that it was extremely conversational so that when the caller calls in, and you saw this in the infomercial earlier before we started the session, when the caller calls in, they could literally say anything under the sun. It's going to understand full sentences, nouns, intents, and verbs, and then output them into the appropriate path to have the conversation with them. And if they need to jump around in that conversation, so maybe they go down this path of they need to know where their order is, they kind of almost get to the end of that path, and they say, you know what, actually, I want to change my membership. They could jump to a different path or different conversation easily without having to hang up the phone and call back in or request to speak to a live agent.